Hello everyone. The music you are hearing in the background is called Squatta Bambino Tumblr, I believe. It is the new theme for Behemoth Vlogmaster, and it is completely copyright free. I don't have to give credit or anything like that. So I thought it would be a perfect fit for this series, to try to make it evolve even more so. It might not fit the theme for every episode, like, depending on the topic of the episode, it might not fit perfectly, but I don't want to get a new theme every time we, do a new episode, so. And for more important or different kinds of episodes, like, for example, episode 100, that's a milestone episode, so I might use something special for that, I don't know yet, but just for anything that I want to fit well enough, I'm going to use a different theme, probably. But this is the standard for most of the episodes. With that said, let's get started with today's episode. Now, I know Halloween just ended last month, but there was potential in that ghost episode it was in 2019, it was the episode 17, I believe. There was potential in that episode, and it wasn't quite fulfilled enough. Well, maybe it just, the episode topic at hand wasn't really fit for what today's topic is going to be. I know it's kind of hard to understand what I'm saying, but basically, I was talking about the mind of a spirit back in episode 17, and here I'm talking about a neighborhood of ghosts that my mom used to live in about 30 years ago or so, in the early to mid 90s, I think. This was going to be an Instagram post, but if you remember in episode 81, they were getting too long. This one would have been really freaking long, and I think it would have been a better fit just to make an episode instead of a post about it. Also, you guys are probably wondering, when are we getting the next Kale the Whale video? I don't think that's gonna come, guys. I think I'm done with those. I may just get rid of that playlist and put those two videos into the other playlist. You know, the one titled Other. I just don't want to go through the work of making a video and trying to catch up with that. I think it's just meant for my family and I and my friends that I've met in person to read, not just random people, but hey. Who knows, I might let you guys follow me in the future, I don't know yet. But anyways, so yeah, I am here to talk about this really old neighborhood, almost 125 years old. Some of the houses are almost that old in that neighborhood. And I personally believe that it was a haunted one. Maybe not every house in that neighborhood was haunted, but the three I stumbled upon probably were. So, okay, what is the idea of this episode? We're just gonna explain some aspects about three separate houses that we visited in that neighborhood. It would have been me, my mom, and my cousin Judah, who you know from Kale-Idle-Scope. Now, Judah would have been 5 when we went there in 2012, and obviously he would have been too young to hear about ghost stuff, and he would have also been too young to know what to believe in for himself. At that age, you're pretty much kind of dependent on other people to tell you what's real and not real, so. And I don't think his dad would have been too proud of us teaching him ghost stuff, but hey, whatever, it's in the past 9 years ago, so. The first house was, I think, a one-room house. It was a pretty old house. I think every house in this neighborhood is going to be pretty old, but there was furniture in there, despite nobody living there. My mom said that she assumed that the activity in that house was too strong and they just had to leave immediately. They didn't have time to get their furniture or something. I don't know, man, he could have called a priest or whatever, but I don't know. Now, while we were next to that house, on the road that was next to it, my younger cousin said that he saw a face in the window, but that could have just been his imagination at that young age. While we were right there, there was a dog on the opposite side of the road, and it made me wonder, would you rather be attacked by a dog or a ghost? And my mom was like, a ghost, because a ghost can't hurt you, but a dog definitely can. I think both can hurt you if you're not careful, but I don't know. Alright, the second house was the one that my mom lived in. It was a 2-story one. Nobody was living there back in 2012. Somebody might live there now, I have no idea, but basically when we were visiting that neighborhood, nobody was living there, and my cousin was like, if nobody lives there, then let's go in, but my mom was explaining that somebody still owns the property to the house, so we still have to ask permission even if nobody actually lives in that house. Now, I want to tell you a little story that my mom told me back then. Her and 2 friends back in 1992 were just talking at the bottom floor, and from upstairs a pencil came flying down. And not long after that, an eraser came flying down. and they started to freak out. They thought somebody had broken in, so they called the police, and the police checked the whole house. After they were done, the police specifically said, well, something's throwing stuff at you, it's not a human being. Which is impressive that you just happen to stumble across a police officer who actually believes in ghosts, but anyway. A different time, I think we were there with Judar's older sister from the year before he was born, and we drove really close to the house. We got in the driveway and everything, and we saw that the cabinet was open. It could have been somebody who forgot to close it, but maybe not. Alright, well, the last house I want to talk about today was a really worn down house. Nobody lived in there, obviously. The house was falling apart. Not much to say about this one, except that when I took a picture, there was a white blur in it. My mom was like pointing out the spots that could have been like the mouth and the nose and stuff, and I think that it could have been my first ghost capture. I haven't seen the picture in so long because it's on my mom's old phone, which she still has, by the way, but the screen is broken and we don't know how to power it on. So yeah, chances of me seeing that photo again are pretty slim at this point. It doesn't seem too likely, which is just sad, but if I remember correctly, it was just right next to our car. My mom thought it was at the doorway, but if I remember correctly, it was right next to our car, as if it was trying to say hi, or something like that. I'm sure it was aware we were there. Well, that's about all I have to say for this episode. I've lived in a few haunted houses myself, but I didn't live in that neighborhood. I wouldn't be too scared of ghosts, because most of them are pretty peaceful if I had to guess. It's just that the idea of invisible people just walking around your house is a kind of creepy one. But, you know, I wasn't aware that they were haunted at the time, so it wasn't too bad. Well, folks, I will see you in the next episode. If anybody's watching this, please let me know if this new theme is working out good or not. As you can tell, the green screens are gone. It's back to the old times when I just recorded myself without any backgrounds, so. But I will see you guys in the next episode. I might have a few more ideas in the tank, which is a rarity. I might have like 3 more, which is amazing. But anyways, I'll see you later. Goodbye.